Welcome to the Digital Access Show. My name's Narelle Wright, and yes, I'm the host. I actually want to look at an issue that has been really interesting. It's been on the news a bit lately where they're saying social media posting is affecting people's opinions, and that's where people get the news, a lot of things like that. And I was thinking, okay, who can I get on? Because I don't know whether you realize it or not, social media has a lot of problems with it for people with disability. I've brought Letitia Thompson from the Centre for Accessibility to come and talk about it. Letitia,
Hi,
thank you.
Narelle. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Letitia, can you tell us a bit about your work and what the Centre for Accessibility does, please?
Well, Centre for Accessibility Australia, or CFA Australia, we're a not-for-profit. Where really our heart is for bridging the digital divide, which basically means trying to make all forms of technology accessible for people with disability. Which, look, I always say it doesn't make sense that the internet isn't more accessible because it's basically the future. It's the Star Trek universe we were promised. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah, basically, we audit organizations' websites. We run workshops on accessible social media or accessible technology. Gosh, all sorts of things. I part of my job is also to keep up to date with our technology news. So I get the fun job. I get to look up what's accessible in gaming, and all that kind of stuff. I we basically, gosh, I don't what don't we do? Dr. Hollier, our CEO, he's always got something on mind. So we're basically at the heart of it, we advocate for people with disabilities to be able to use the internet and computer and technology.
Perfect description. And I will tell you, all Letitia and I are working on a couple of projects together, and that's
Yeah.
why Letitia with the social media. What's the problem with social media postings?
Oh, look, okay. I know there's a whole argument out there about whether social media is good or whether social media is bad, and my opinion is a little bit biased because I work in social media as well. Um, I think social media is the way of the future. Considering I'm looking back at my childhood, and because I'm a millennial, when I was younger, there wasn't really the internet as we know it today, and I kind of had a bit of an isolated childhood in that respect because I lived up in the hills in Western Australia. It wasn't that easy to, socialize. So I am all for people being able to find their community online, meet up with each other, network with each other, especially people with disability, because oftentimes you can't just pop next door to someone with a disability that's similar to you, but communities online bring you together from all around Australia and the world. So, look, I could ramble on about how much I love social media, but there are some inaccessibility to it. But the good news in that is if you tweak a few things, you can actually make social media pretty accessible, which is, what we aim to do, both you and me and our listeners. So, yeah.
And you actually make a really good point about social media being a way that a lot of, well, the only way that a lot of people with disability can contact each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it is. I mean, I know you've got a bit of a disability. I've got one.
yeah,
And I do use social media because I know I'm never going to be able to get to the Kimberleys or Derby.
yeah,
I've currently got friends there, but I sit and with the limited sight I've got left,
yeah,
very limited,
yeah.
I can actually be there with them in spirit.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
And so it's really not even just keeping in contact with people with the same disability. It's keeping in contact with your friends in a way
yes.
because you can't do it any other way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, even on top of that, so I've gotten tickets to a couple of online webinars for like random historical 17th century embroidery stuff at museums in like Lisbon or Paris or whatever that,
Yeah.
we would never have been able to do, but we can now. It's like, I know that there is a lot of issues with social media, but like, I just think the benefits really are exceptional, in my opinion, anyway.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
When, well, let's break it down. If we, what are the social media? I mean, if we look at Facebook, we look
yeah,
at LinkedIn, Instagram, what there's X, I think that's
yeah,
what used to be called Twitter.
yeah.
They're the main four, aren't they?
Yes. And so people often ask us which is the most accessible of the social media platforms.
Yep.
And like in my opinion, and I'm not saying I'm 100% right, I
Mm.
don't actually think the main platforms are actually pretty decently like accessible in different ways. Like for Facebook, for example, they've got you can have automatic alt text generation for
Yeah.
images, and I would always say always check before you publish, of course. But
Yeah.
like the alt text on Facebook isn't as bad as you think. It's actually pretty good. But I think I know that Dr. Hollier has always said that there's a huge community on like LinkedIn and Twitter/X, and I know LinkedIn makes sense, especially with people who are blind or low vision, because they've got that professional clear interface
Mm.
and all of that. So uh, um yeah, I think and then you've got Instagram, which is good. Um, as a person who works in social media. I don't know why, but so when you're on Buffer, which is like a software to schedule your social media,
Yeah.
you can put in alt text in all the different platforms that you're planning. But for
Mm.
some reason, Instagram it doesn't allow alt text um, on Buffer, so you actually have to go manually on Instagram to put alt text on there. But look. I don't, I can't really trash any platform, any of the main big platforms anyway. They're all pretty good, and especially Twitter/X, which I know that can be quite a controversial opinion for many
Yeah.
different reasons. But accessibility wise, Twitter/X, I would say, is as good as LinkedIn as well. So it's all, I'm hopeful anyway.
So you're saying the functionality is there to do it.
Yes, yeah.
Is it getting done?
Uh, yeah. I mean, look, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just down to people like us, and I know that's really frustrating
Mm.
because we've got so much on. But I think especially because people a lot of the times when digital accessibility is in conversation, people don't know what digital access is. So
Mm.
I feel like it's all about education. People don't know what they don't know. So
Yeah.
let's just keep harassing people,
Yeah.
especially in big industry, big social media sort of thing. Yeah.
One of my biggest bugbears, other than the alternate text,
Mm,
is, with the little site that I do have left, is the captions. The captions can be the most,
yeah.
oh my gosh, they rely on AI generated captioning.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of that?
Um, uh, no, what was I watching? I was watching something the other day on, I think, YouTube,
Hmm.
and I had the captions on, and they were saying someone's name, and the name began with a V, but the caption said, "Oh yes, vodka," and it made me laugh so hard. So
Yeah.
I completely, yeah, definitely, captions can be an interesting kettle of fish. Um, Look, I know there's a whole big debate with AI, especially, and because I'm a writer and I have many artist friends, and I
Mm.
do have my own personal opinion on AI, but professionally and with accessibility, I do know AI can be a tool, but as any tool, I think at the end of the day, it needs human supervision because AI isn't human, sort of thing. I know that says goes without saying, but yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
yeah,
Because for me, AI will try and get the punctuation and grammar correct, but
yeah.
the context, it will try and do it,
Yeah.
but it can't see the image.
No. Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
I have noticed I See, I always say it's okay, but that okay isn't necessarily good enough because
Mm,
we shouldn't just aspire for okay. So yeah, from what I can see, AI can be okay sometimes for alt text, but again, I will say this until it gets boring. But human touch. I mean,
mm.
humanity should be. I'm not even making any sense. You know what I mean?
I do
Um,
know what you mean.
yeah.
It's got to be checked
Yes, that's what I
by a
mean.
human.
Human
It
checked.
has to be.
Yeah,
See, the other one for me is the automatically generated captions that you get, and they're worse again, aren't they?
yeah, I know.
Like you were talking before about vodka. And
Vodka.
it's like my name they cannot get. I get
Oh,
all types of weird
really?
connotations.
Do you?
Again, and it just you have to laugh because you
Yeah,
think, well, if they can't get my name right, how good is yeah, it's a typical Aussie name.
yeah,
How good are the rest of the captions?
yeah. Look,
You know,
we can only educate, I guess, but I
mm,
guess it's our burden to bear, Narelle.
it is. The one thing that I don't see social media being able to do is audio description, which is describing things that are in the background of a
Yeah,
video.
yeah,
That just
yeah.
doesn't happen, does it?
No, not from what I've seen, no. And that would be a really good thing to do. And the thing is, like, I think this really builds on the fact that, like, accessibility. I mean, it should just be for people with disability, but it isn't just for people with disability. Like, even captions, everyone uses captions now.
Mm.
Like, I, uh, you go on public transport and everyone's on their phone looking at reels with captions on. In fact, like I went to see the Odyssey last week,
Mm.
which was a great film, but I can't like, I need my captions because I'm so used to reading them now. So like
Yeah,
it just yeah, it benefits everyone. So I think that's another thing that another carrot, as Dr. Holly would say, to entice big companies to bridge that gap.
yeah.
Yeah, because
What
like yeah, sorry.
what should people so we're saying
Mm.
what we're saying in essence, any social media is still digital content and you have to consider your audience is really what we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, even down to like representation in social media posts. I mean, I know we know this, but I think maybe a lot of people don't realize that people with disability exist outside of International Day of Disability.
Mm.
So it would be really good to even see people with disability just, in everyday
Yeah.
social media pictures and things. I mean, that would be good because I always say there's like, I mean, the statistics, it's 1 in 5 Australians with a
Mm.
disability. So if you don't have a disability yourself, you absolutely know someone with a disability. It's not like we're a niche little,
Yeah,
minority. So yeah,
that's
um,
it. And
yeah,
it's even more interesting too when you start to consider when they're trying, because a lot of social media now is also marketing, isn't it?
yes, yeah, and that's the thing. Marketing. If you want people to buy your stuff, make it
Mm.
accessible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. With all of this in mind, the one thing that I can't change, the font types that are used on these social media pages.
mm, mm,
Some of them can be really, really hard to read because they're not the fonts. I don't know what font types are used on Facebook. I haven't
mm,
bothered to go and look.
mm.
And it will be the same on LinkedIn or any of those. It's a standard font that everyone uses, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It basically is. Yeah. Uh, um. Yeah, do because I was going to say the size does that, but then we can always magnify the sizes as well. But no, definitely. And I think at least with LinkedIn, how did you find LinkedIn? Did you find it like an accessible interface?
LinkedIn's all right. I'm
Yeah,
not mad on it. I've learnt to use it, but
yeah,
that's because with my screen reader, I've sort of learnt it took a while to learn how to do it with a screen reader.
yeah.
It's not, what are the words for it? Intuitive,
Intuitive, yeah,
because you've got to learn, like I can't even think it's something, it's muscle memory. I know when I go into it, what I go to do to add a post or things, start a post. So you've got
yeah,
to, for me using my screen reader. initially I would be, okay, the post field, or I would try every word I could think of to actually find the field to
Yeah.
actually start a post. But you've got to learn, and Facebook's the same. Obviously,
Mm,
they're the two I predominantly use.
mm,
But even like I was doing some work for a friend, and he's got, I thought I was on the right page. Both pages, his name starts the pages. He's got a business, except I was thinking, yep, got the page because that's what I heard. Right, I'm right. However, there was another page which had an extra piece of information tacked on at the end, which was the page I was meant to be on. Facebook to even find that using a screen reader and to
yeah.
actually access that page was really difficult. If you've got
Um,
sight,
yeah.
not a problem.
Yeah. Huh. That's
Comes down to the structure, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. Look, I'm going to admit, I mean, I just cheated now and Google because I was curious about the fonts for the different
Yeah,
social media platforms.
yeah,
Apparently, according to Google, X/Twitter has their own custom font called Chirp.
yep.
Um, and LinkedIn has LinkedIn Sans. And TikTok has TikTok Sans. So basically, it looks like each platform has their own customizable font.
Interesting. Now I'm going to go and have a look because the 1 milliliter test, which is a capital I, a lowercase l, and a number
Mm,
one, do they look the same? Because
mm,
if they look the same, that explains why people with dyslexia really struggle with those
yes.
pages.
Yeah, and that's another part of accessibility as well.
Yeah.
People, I mean, when we think of accessibility, we think of like people who are blind or people who are deaf,
Mm.
but then there's a whole bunch of like neurological things and neurodiversity as well.
Yeah.
There's so much to take into account. And I also think that in itself, when people think about putting accessibility into their platforms, they
Mm.
can get a bit overwhelmed because they're like, oh, there's so much to do. But really, when you step back and break it down, it's actually quite not easy, but it's actually quite straightforward when we think
Yeah,
about accessibility, what it is. So yeah.
it is. Well,
Mm.
one of the things I always make sure of, I actually have white space between the sentences because
Yes.
on a post, because otherwise everything's squashed together and it
No,
becomes overwhelming to read. So just put some
absolutely.
extra space in and it makes it readable. It's such a simple thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, the other day, putting an article on our website, I always put paragraphs, obviously, between things, but the word processing wasn't working, so it was all one giant big clump of a
Oh
paragraph, and I was
gosh.
like, oh, so I know exactly what you mean. It was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just that. And we can't do things on these social media posts like make 1.5 line spacing, things like that, but we can
mm,
manually do it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the little things that make a difference,
little
doesn't it?
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
Letitia, with
Mm,
the social media,
mm.
what what are some tips that you can give people that are listening, for reading it, for posting yourself? What is 3 tips?
Three tips. Okay.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I've just
No,
had
no,
to add one in to make you work.
no. There's something called have you heard of accessible hashtags?
No,
Okay,
tell us
hashtags.
more.
Yes, hashtags are because when you write a hashtag and it's like a giant big clumpy word.
Hmm.
There's something called camel case for
Oh,
multi
yes, yes.
hashtags.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I know what you're
yeah.
talking about. Yes.
Yeah, so for example, I mean, hashtag social media accessibility, to capitalize each word, so capital S, capital M, capital A. And honest to God, like, I hadn't heard of this before I joined CFA Australia, but now I do. I can't unsee it. Like normal hashtags, I'm like, why? We should make it readable for everyone. Accessible hashtags really help screen readers pronounce each word correctly and make the hashtag easier to read. So that's one.
And
Um,
one point with that is
mm,
people with visual processing problems, not like a vision processing problem like I've got, where they can
yeah,
still read. they can't tell where the start and the end of a word is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. Um,
a good
so
one.
yeah, okay, one, two, okay, avoid the overuse of emojis. Now, I assumed when I was firstly, when I was first in accessibility that you can't use emojis,
Mm,
but you can if you can't just use an excessive use of emojis,
mm,
and because they again can be confusing for screen readers, and honestly overwhelming. So you can limit the use of emojis and also place them at the end of sentences rather than interspersed within the text. So
mm.
I would say that.
That's a good one. How many emojis would you put in a post? What would be the maximum amount that you would say is reasonable?
You mean professional Letitia
Yep,
or fun Letitia?
professionally.
I think maybe two at the end of each sentence.
Yeah,
I think. Um, I mean, I love a good smiley emoji, but yeah, probably two. Because
yeah.
because I mean, even listening to a screen reader and like 10 smileys, it would be smile, 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 smile.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you would want to throw your laptop out the window. So
yep,
probably two, yeah.
yep.
Um,
That's a good
um,
one.
um, and I guess provide context for links. So, I mean, use
Mm.
descriptive links. So instead of saying like click here or read this, say what the article is. So to listen to this podcast. No, hang on. For more information, listen to Narelle's amazing podcast. That sort of thing.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
actually another really good one because that's it. A lot of people just put the URL
Yes.
in and it's just what it has no meaning. But
Yeah.
at least if there's a description in front of it,
Yeah.
we know where we're being taken to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And test the URLs before you hit post,
Oh my gosh. Look,
test
I'm
your
not going to say
URLs.
that I haven't made that mistake before, but I'm not going to say I haven't either.
Oh, I've done it. Particularly if you take something from LinkedIn, copy a
Yeah,
post from LinkedIn and put it in Facebook,
yeah,
that URL is always wrong.
yeah. No, it is. I don't know
Mm.
why. LinkedIn likes to hate us.
It is.
Mm.
Letitia, how can people get in contact with you guys? Obviously, you're the go-to for us, well, particularly Dr. Hollier,
Yeah.
for any of the really techo stuff that we haven't run into. But for your work and for people wanting to find out more about social media postings, the do's and don'ts, how can they contact you?
You can always go to our website, which is accessibility.org.au.
Hmm.
And then you can, because we got a bunch of like resources for different technology like Windows 10 and 11, accessible resources and things as well that you can take a look at or read our articles. I don't want to say that they're really cool, but the person
They
who
are
writes
really cool. I'll say
yeah.
it.
Um, but also, if you want to get a hold of us, email us at admin@accessibility.org.au with any questions, anything, any comments. Yeah, no, or you can check us out on social. So just look up Centre for Accessibility Australia on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and now we have TikTok. We're getting to the Gen Z, so yeah.
Awesome work. Letitia, thanks. It's an important subject because, as we said, it's marketing, it's how people stay in contact with each other. If
Yeah,
the person can't understand the information,
yeah.
it doesn't work.
No, no, no. Thank you so much. I mean, it's always a pleasure chatting
Well,
with you. You know
it's
that.
always fun talking to you,
Always
Letitia.
fun. Great.
So, look, if you look, we're always after advice on how
Yeah,
we can make this better. If there's people that you think, oh, they've got an interesting story, they really know what they're talking about with digital accessibility, they can see a barrier. We want to know. Letitia and I are always looking for these people.
always. Yeah,
And it's important because we really, we want to break down the barriers, and Letitia and CFA want to bridge the divide. It's all
yeah.
about good communication. So, like, subscribe, review, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. We'll see you next week. Thank you.